Hello. Big D here on a Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for a Football Friday edition of the Big D podcast, which you can see today on the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. Please check out all my videos, whether it be me running, football, NASCAR, soccer, whatever. Check them out. Checking out the great interview with Kelly and Phoenix yesterday. Also check out the Big D podcast on Spotify and Apple. So I can't believe it. It's divisional playoff week in the National Football. And this is getting ready to be one of the craziest weekends that any football fan has seen. Not just with the teams left, but maybe more incredibly with the incredible talent of quarterback play left. I mean, we've got legends, superstars, up and comers, and guys looking to break through. And I don't think there's been many weekends where there's been this amount of quarterback talent in just 4 games. There've been weekends where been great quarterback plays. I mean, you can remember a few years ago with I think there were three MVPs in one day. There've been multiple MVPs in the same game, but this talent is unbelievable. And at number one, I know what you're thinking. Who am I picking at number one? Well, he worked out pretty well last week. Let's see. Josh Allen threw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns and 1, 2, 3, 4 incompletions. 21 of 25 for 5 touchdowns. In the best cold weather performance I've ever seen in my life. What? You kidding me? 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns against Bill Belichick. The Bills literally played a perfect game. Didn't punt, didn't kick a field goal, didn't commit a turnover. How does that happen in negative wind chill? It does if you're Josh Allen, though. Oh, and on top of it, he rushed for 66 yards. I'm telling you, they're 6'6", 230, run like a deal, throw the ball 90 yards down the field. I don't think there's been many quarterbacks for that kind of potential. I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm not even sure John Elway possessed that kind of arm. And trust me, Bronco fans remember how strong John Elway's arm was in the 80s and 90s. But Josh Allen, to me, is on top of the quarterback rankings based on potential and what he can do for a game. Number 2 is easy. Tom Brady. Let's see. Tom Brady has only lost one divisional round playoff game, and that was to the New York Jets a decade or so ago when the Jets went to back-to-back AFC championship appearances under Rex Ryan and Mark Sanchez. But see, Tom Brady has got more playoff wins than all the other playoff quarterbacks combined. He's thrown 5,000 yards. Never lose during the division round. 7 Super Bowl rings, 10 Super Bowls, and capable of winning a historic and maybe crazy 8th Super Bowl. I mean, what's there not to like? Now, sure, Tampa's road to the Super Bowl this year a little different than last year. No Chris Godwin, no Antonio Brown, maybe Leonard Fournette coming back on Sunday, but still, TB12 it's like fine wine. He's almost getting better with age. Number 3, I can't believe I put him number 3 for what he's accomplished in his short NFL career. But Patrick Mahomes, I mean, Patrick Mahomes has done, particularly at home in the playoffs, is incredible. I mean, look what he did last week. He threw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, setting a record with his 400-yard, 5-touchdown game, breaking a record with Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, and Joe Montana, who all racked up way more starts than Mahomes has done so. Let's see. Montana, Hall of Famer. Manning, Hall of Famer. Marino, Hall of Famer. Mahomes, guess it's good to be him. One Moon Hall of Famer, so maybe M should be the last name of quarterbacks. But you know how many touchdowns Patrick Mahomes has thrown at home in the playoffs? And that was last week. And he's still for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. So we know what Mahomes is capable of doing. He's already won a Super Bowl, played in another. This guy amazes me with what he does on the football field. I mean, left-handed throws, sideways throws, up the wall, whatever. I mean, Mahomes will amaze you 3 or 4 times during the game. And number 4 may surprise you a little bit. But how do you not like what Joe Burrow has done in his last 3 starts? I mean, he might be a second-year quarterback, but Joe Burrow is not looking like a second-year quarterback. He's looking like a 10-year vet. And his connection with Jamar Chase is second to maybe nobody right now. But what Burrow can do for a young Bengal team without a great offensive line and a whole lot of experience is telling. Because what I see with Burrow is a maturing, constructing a capable offense. Now, sure, do the Bengals have experience? No. But do the Bengals have the capabilities of beating anybody? Yes. I mean, Cincinnati beat Kansas City. The Bengals beat Tennessee last year, and I guarantee you Tennessee remembered that game. So, but, I mean, I really like the way Burrow finished the season. He played really well in his playoff debut, and whether the Bengals win or lose tomorrow, I think Joe Burrow's got all the potential. Now, yes, everybody's going to complain about me. Why is Aaron Rodgers number 5? Because it's not necessarily because of what Aaron Rodgers can or can't do. But I look at what offense he's run. He's got maybe the best play calling head coach in the league in Matt LaFleur. He's got the best wide receiver, probably the best route runner in football right now, Devontae Adams. He's got a bevy of running backs in A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. And yes, people will say, well, he played against the AFC North. He played against Mahomes, which, oddly enough, Rodgers missed that game. But to me, when I look at Green Bay's offense, I don't see Rodgers aggressive enough. I don't see Rodgers going up the field. I see him more safe. Not saying that's bad, because Aaron Rodgers' touchdown to interception ratios through the roof. I mean, 111 passing rates, 37 touchdowns, 4 picks. Not lost a game at Lambeau Field this year. Probably going to win another MVP. Shocker this year, but we've seen Aaron Rodgers struggle. I mean, he's 0-3 against the Niners in his playoff career, and not really played well in any of those. Now, sure, much different circumstance. Green Bay's coming off a bye. The Packers should be the healthiest they've been all year. San Francisco's traveling on a short week into Lambeau, where there could be negative wind chills again tomorrow night. which means maybe less Rodgers and more of a running game. So yes, I think Aaron Rodgers is great. He's going to win an MVP, but might not he be that needed tomorrow night, and maybe more of the running game. And 6 is Matthew Stafford. And finally, he can remove the playoff monkey off his back because Matt Stafford has finally got his first playoff win. Woohoo! So, yes, he only threw the ball 17 times last week. But maybe more importantly, bagel in the interception column. So, more efficient. The Rams used running game and great defense to stymie Kyler in the corners on Monday night. Now the task gets harder against Brady and the Bucs. So the question is, what Matt Stafford do we get? Because if he throws, Stafford threw 8 picks in his last 4 games. If he throws 2 picks on Sunday, the Rams are in trouble. So maybe a more efficient, less dependent Stafford gives the Rams a chance of winning, but we'll see what happens just up the road. 7, Ryan Tannehill. People may not realize this, but the Tennessee Titans got the number 1 seed, and Derrick Henry missed half the year. How the Titans got the number 1 seed is beyond me. I mean, Mike Vrabel did a great coaching job. But Ryan Tannehill's a capable quarterback. I mean, look what he did Week 18 against the Texans. He won the game. It wasn't a running game. It wasn't Deontay Foreman running. It was more Tannehill. And I like this Tennessee offense. I think A.J. Brown's a great receiver. I think Julio Jones has got something to prove. Julio Jones has done everything caught tons of passes, touchdowns, but he wants that Super Bowl ring. And even if Tannehill's not throwing, he can still. How many times you see Tannehill get a 2-3 yard bootleg for a touchdown? So Tannehill gives you that run, that dual threat option. So yeah, Tannehill might not throw much tomorrow night against Cincinnati, but I think he can be pretty dang efficient. And number 8, Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, be honest, I think 49er fans are happy. They're even playing, but do you realize how many wins Jimmy Garoppolo has gotten away from Levi Stadium? I think his road record is 20-6. You know who that's better than? Joe Montana. You know who's the only guy with a better road winning percentage? Oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is a capable quarterback. It's just, can he avoid the turnovers? Can he avoid the mistakes? Because that turnover last weekend almost cost the Niners the game. So, San Francisco won at Arlington last week, but now you go into Green Bay. The Packers don't beat themselves to penalties. Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw mistakes, and the Niners are banged up and are going to be freezing their buns in Lambeau Field tomorrow. So, if Jimmy G can step up tomorrow night, the Niners have got a chance of winning, but we'll see what happens. So, my quarterback rankings are Josh Allen, TB12, Mahomes, Burrow, Rodgers, Stafford, Tannehill, and Jimmy G. If you disagree with them, shoot me an email, DM, tweet, Facebook, whatever. But don't TikTok me. And now on to my picks this weekend. To be honest, last weekend's games were fairly easy to predict, but this weekend's games are difficult because you've got really close games. You've got quarterbacks, and each team left has got a capable coach. I mean, you're not planning on doing divisional round playoff game without a competent head coach. So all these coaches are really close, but starting in Nashville tomorrow with the Bengals and Tennessee, I like Tennessee. Thank you, Kyle. But I really think Tennessee wins this game. First off, the Titans are coming off a bye, so an extra week to prepare for this game. But maybe more importantly than just the bye, Derrick Henry's back in the lineup. So the best running back in football will be ready to rumble for the Titans tomorrow. And yes, when Derrick Henry suited up the first half of the season, nobody could stop him. And if there's one problem in Cincinnati, it's line play. It's offensive and defensive line play. I think you can pressure Joe Burrow defensively and offensively. Tennessee's offensive line should be able to control the game. So I think Tennessee with and AJ Brown, it will be interesting, but so I think we just went through a technical glitch for a minute, but Derrick Henry's running the ball well, and Tannehill's throwing the AJ Brown, Julio on play action. Titans can control the game, and what I like about Tennessee's defense is the Titans can pressure, and I think Tennessee matches up okay against Jamal Chase, Higgins, and Boyd. I think Tennessee can really pressure Burrow because to me, if there's one problem Cincinnati, the Bengals cannot protect Joe Burrow. And if Cincinnati's going to win this game, that Bengal offense line is going to have to perform well tomorrow because Tennessee will come after them. And you know that crowd in Nashville will be engaged. I think Tennessee wins this game. Yes, the Bengals finally won their first playoff game in 31 years, but you don't beat a really good team with Mike Williams as the head coach on the road the next week. I think it's a year. I think the Bengals are a year away from being a genuine Super Bowl contender. I like Tennessee. And then the more night, San Francisco, Green Bay. When I watching the 49ers play last week, I'm like, San Francisco win the Green Bay. But the more I thought about this game, I don't see Aaron Rodgers losing. First off, the Packers are getting a couple key guys back. David Bakhtiari should be back. Jair Alexander, Zadarius Smith, Randall Cobb. So the Packers are getting healthier and healthier, while San Francisco may or may not be 100%. Jimmy Garoppolo's already got a couple. It's got, an elbow and a shoulder injury. Nick Bosa's coming back from a concussion. And Fred and Warner, the outstanding middle backers, got a bum ankle. All three should play them all, but the Lions are banged up. Secondly, Packers don't, at least this year, the Packers don't lose at Lambeau. 8-0. Aaron Rodgers has looked basically invincible. You can't stop Rodgers through Devontae Adams. To be honest, the only way San Francisco can win this game is by running the snot out of the ball. I don't think San Francisco's stopping Green Bay. San Francisco's secondary worries me. Why the Cowboys didn't give CeeDee Lamb more than one catch is being. Why the Cowboys didn't throw the CeeDee Lamb more last week befuddles me, but I don't but guarantee you, yeah, Kyle, go Pack, go, but I'm talking about your Packers right now, but I really like Green Bay to win them all. Rodgers is better quarterback, and I think Green Bay's got a chip on their shoulder. Get a playoff win over San Francisco, and make sure Aaron Rodgers is playing in a conference championship game and or the Super Bowl. And now Sunday, and now these Sunday games are two of the greatest divisional round matchups I've ever seen. I really went back and forth over who's going to win both games. But to be perfectly honest, I think the Rams win in Tampa. And yes, everything's against the Rams. Matt Stafford's only won one playoff game. Short week, West Coast team traveling east. But LA won week 3. And in that game, I believe Tom Brady was sacked 3 times. The Bucs offensive line is not 100%. Ryan Jensen looked like he'll play, but probably won't be 100%. Tristan Wolves, the great right tackle, may or may not play with that high ankle sprain. And let's see, you've got Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, and Von Miller. Ouch. I think for the Rams to win this game, it's going to be a lot of pressure. Remember, Philly sacked Tom Brady 4 times last week. If Tom Brady's under the rest and that quick passing game's not working, LA can win this game. Secondly, yes, I think Leonard Fournette's going to play. But how effective will he be with 3 or 4 weeks coming off a bad hamstring? Because we've seen guys not look themselves off a hamstring. And then, yes, LA only threw the ball, 17 times last week? Listen, teams don't. There's a reason why Tampa faces more passes than anybody, because you can't run on Tampa. So it's a question of what Matthew Stafford can deliver. If it's the bad Matthew Stafford from the San Francisco, Minnesota game, LA's got no chance. But if it's the Matthew Stafford from early in the year, I think the Rams can win. And I'm not sure how the Bucs are going to match up against Cooper Kupp. I think LA wins it in a go either way game. I think this is a game that both teams that it would not surprise me if Tampa wins. Yes, Tampa's a favorite, but I think the Rams are capable of going on the road and winning. And then last but not least, if you saw the Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes picture, thank you, Canva. But there's a reason why I picked this. Why this game's on Sunday night. I mean, I don't remember many divisional round games with this kind of star power. I mean, obviously Manning and Brady in 15, 16, 17 years ago, but you got 2 guys who will be lining up NFL stadiums for the next decade. I mean, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are doing so much for their teams right now. But remember, Buffalo won this game in convincingly week 5. Here's the thing with Buffalo this year. When the Bills win this year, they usually destroy teams. Last week against New England. When Buffalo's in a close game, week 1 against Pittsburgh, week 9 against Jacksonville, week 6 against Tennessee, the first New England game, the Tampa overtime game, the Bills lose. So the Bills have got a little bit of that knockout flavor where if they win, it's usually a knockout. But if you can survive, you'll win. So chances are this game's going to be close. So Buffalo will win. It'll probably be a close one. But I've got a feeling. I just have got a feeling the Bills win this one. Yes, they were. For some reason, I think this year Josh Allen and the Bills take that next step. We've seen young quarterbacks take the next step from the divisional round, conference championship, and then Super Bowl. I think this is the year. I think Josh Allen has got a little more running capability. And I think Arrowhead's a difficult place to play, and weather shouldn't be a factor. Woo! But I think Buffalo's got a little more offense, and what I see with the Bills this year is a team capable of winning. And I'm telling you, the key in this game is going to be Devin Singletary. Because if Devin Singletary's running and catching passes from Josh Allen, I think he may be just enough of an X factor where the Bills can win. Yes. If I were betting the game, I mean, it seems weird that the Chiefs only won a point, 1.5 point, 2 point favor when generally a home team gets 3, but I think Vegas and I are seeing the same thing, that the Bills might be that team you don't want to play. Plus, unlike in previous years where the 2 seed always got a bye, both teams are coming in playing off wild card weekend. Yes, Josh Allen is streaky. But you could also say Patrick Mahomes is streaky because we've seen him struggle many times. Week 5 against Buffalo was prime example of Josh Allen hurling defenders while Mahomes struggling. So I think the Bills win this game. I think it's a shootout. I mean, if it high 20s, 30s, the score wouldn't surprise me. But I think Buffalo's winning. So on Saturday, I like both home teams, the Titans and Packers, and on Sunday, I like both road teams, the Rams and the Bills. You imagine an NFC title game where it's LA and Green Bay on an AFC Championship, Buffalo and Tennessee. Ooh. I mean, I know most people want to see like Patrick Mahomes against Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl, but this is going to be a crazy weekend. Can't wait to see it. I hope these games are assigned. Hopefully, we don't get any snooze backs like 4 of the games for last week. But can't wait to see these games. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, check it out on the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. You never know what to expect, and I'll see you later.